This is a HeadGum podcast.
Sometimes when the world feels insane, you can take a little peek inside of Rachel's little brain. All these thoughts are swirling round and round inside. So join us on this journey as we take a little ride. We'll talk about dogs and kids and things. We'll talk about chicks and tampon strings. We'll talk about boys that make you cry. We'll talk about death, 'cause people die.
Welcome to Broad Ideas.
Hey, thanks, Rachel.
You're so welcome. I know, we're very enthusiastic.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Olivia.
I was waiting.
Thank you, the fans.
I was waiting for your enthusiasm over there, Kev.
It took a second, but I'm here.
He's
Wake up.
awake.
I'm on baby hours.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. No.
What do you have, a
When-
baby?
You have a newborn or something?
Went to bed at 4, got up at 7.
No.
Oh, seriously?
It's okay.
Kevin.
That's not okay.
We didn't bring your latte today. It's.
I got cold
I
brew.
know, we
I'm
didn't
okay.
have time.
Yeah, I know we didn't have time. This was from much earlier. It's tea.
We're all busy, gang.
We are
Yeah.
busy. So is Zachary Quinto,
Yeah, he is.
who's here today
Way
with
to
us
My new
segue.
with
game
a
is-
brilliant
Yeah.
mind.
My new game is to see how you transition into the guest. It's very fun to watch.
It's different every time, isn't
Yep.
it?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well
yes.
played.
Yep. Him and his brilliant mind are here today because his new show, new season of his show, Brilliant
Mhm.
Minds, is out.
Let's watch it.
Let's hop to it.
Oh, let's talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you?
We're in Silver Lake currently.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh.
What do you have feelings about Silver Lake?
I used to live there for many years.
Oh, you
Did you?
did?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I lived in LA for 12 years. I lived in Silver Lake for, a long time.
But you're in New York right now.
I'm in New York right now, but I'm mostly in Toronto these days working. So I'm just home for press stuff this weekend, and then I go back tomorrow and go back to work. So I'm in Toronto till March.
Wow. Well, at least it's a short commute.
That's right. That's very much how I look at it, actually.
Yeah.
And
Good.
at least it's Toronto.
Meaning,
Instead of the States. What are you talking
I
about?
just mean
Yeah.
like it's beautiful there. It's not
Oh.
like
It's winter a lot. There's a lot of
Yeah.
winter.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
think
I
there's
want wait.
worse
Well,
places.
what's your feeling on it?
I don't feel the kind of visceral connection to Toronto that I feel to other cities. And when I'm living somewhere for work, that's its own kind of challenge. I mean, we all experience
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
But like when I show up in a city that I feel like inspired by and connected to, and it's a very lovely place. Like Toronto's very easy and kind of
Yeah.
and I think there's a reason that a lot of other things shoot there. A lot of things shoot there, and it doubles for other places because it does have this kind of evocative quality of other places that I've been. But it to me, I can't yet discern its own identity, its own kind of depth or edge.
Mhm.
And those are qualities that are important to me in cities that I'm living in or working in. So I don't feel that way about it, but it's also like I work every day, so it's not like I'm
Yeah.
sitting around looking for stuff to do, it's great
Right.
for that.
You have great crews there, though. I feel like everyone is
I was
so
just about to say that,
Yeah.
actually. They're
Yeah.
wonderful crews, and I love
Amazing.
everybody that we work with.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really good place to show up to work every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. My only qualms are just how cold it is for most of the year.
Well, last year, first season, we finished in August, so we missed the colds, and
That's
this year
cool.
we go until March, so
You're living it. You're gonna live it.
I'm getting ready. I brought all my shorts home to New York and like traded them out for all my sweaters and heavy coats, and I'm lugging them all back this weekend. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm getting ready to go.
Yeah. But you are an East Coaster. You are from Pennsylvania, right?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, it depends I always grew up thinking it was the East Coast, but a lot of people consider Pittsburgh more Midwest, like Rust Belty.
It is, yeah.
I
a
guess,
sense.
okay, so you consider it that way. Yeah, all right. I mean, I always thought like, hey, it's the East Coast, but yeah. Pittsburgh being the most western part of the state, I think is probably like more akin to like Ohio, Indiana, all of that. But I lived in LA. I went to college in Pittsburgh, then I moved to LA and lived there for 12 years, and then I moved back to New York, and I've lived here for over 12 years now. So yeah,
Wow.
So speaking of Pittsburgh,
yeah.
I have a little something for you.
I heard we have some kind of connection, but
Yeah.
somebody was unclear about what it was.
That's great. Kevin, do you want to go ahead and play it for him? Okay. Here we go.
He looks scared.
It's a bad angle.
Hi, Zachary. It's been a long time since we last talked. I'm Mike Egler. I hope you remember me as Coach Egler
That's
in the
right.
St. Simon and Jude Youth Wrestling Program. I think you were 6 or 7 years old at that time. I used to drive a Buick Century station wagon, and I would pick up you, my son Jeff, who, by the way, is now married to Olivia, and several other of the neighborhood boys, and we would go to wrestling practice every night.
Wow.
On one of the trips home, the Michael Jackson hit Thriller came on the radio, and you surprised us all by saying, I'm scared. We all get a laugh out of that. Zachary, I just want to let you know how proud I am of you for the accomplishments you made in the entertainment world, and I wish you nothing but success. Bye.
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
So that is Olivia's father-in-law.
That's your father-in-law?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I wish I could have seen your face because we didn't get to see any of that.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah. So
Oh my God.
Stephanie Egler and Jeff Egler. I don't know if you remember.
I do remember them. I mean,
Yeah.
like in the wispiest kind of 40 years later,
Yeah.
you know, but I do remember them. I remember that time very vaguely, but I remember Mike Egler. That's
Yeah.
so crazy.
I know, it's wild.
Wow. That's like, yeah, that's kind of like a different life. It feels like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it
I
was.
can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how old you would have been?
I
Was that
mean,
elementary school?
Yeah, I think Stephanie went to
St.
elementary
Simon
school.
and Jude. Yeah, St. Simon and Jude was where I went to school until third grade. So I would have been like 8.
Wow.
That's young.
That's young.
That's
and it's
really
literally
young.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But that town, so they still live in the same house.
Uh-huh.
And
I'm not surprised by that. Yeah.
no, and so we go every year, and it's like a time capsule because
Yeah.
like everyone else has kind of moved on and done all these different things, but that is still like the memories of those times is what they have.
Yeah. People from Pittsburgh who stay in Pittsburgh, you know, oftentimes they'll create and nurture families and then the kids will go off. But like, I think it's not uncommon for people of that generation to stay. My mom was from Pittsburgh, lived in Pittsburgh all her life, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of family friends that I have are still there, and you know, it's deeply rooted in family,
Yes.
and in tradition in a lot of ways, Pittsburgh as a town. And I think that's part of what makes it so homey.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place, Pittsburgh. I'm grateful that I come from there, but I'm also one of those people that was like, okay, like we're getting out of here. Like we're not sticking around. But I think that, you know, that's also true of a lot of people from my /
Anywhere.
our generation. Right.
Yeah.
But
Is
yes,
your
and anywhere.
mom? Is your mom still there?
No, my mom passed away.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did live there till the end, though. The last couple of years, she wasn't living in Pittsburgh, but yes, she lived there. You know, as long as she had a choice in the matter, she lived there. And then there was a time where we had to intervene in her care, and there were other circumstances that made more sense. And so, yeah, but I still have friends there. My best friend since I'm 16 moved back to Pittsburgh. My godkids are there, and you know, still have family friends, and I still get back. And I went to college there too. I went to Carnegie Mellon, so I have occasion to go home or back, you know, every now and
Yeah.
again.
That's
It's a good
sweet.
place. It's a good place. Do
I
you
love
go a
it.
lot with Jeff?
I go every year.
Every
yeah.
year.
Yeah, they're
We
always
go
there.
4th of July or Christmas. I love it. To me, I grew up here. So when I go there, I'm like, this is a kind of slice of life I never got as a kid.
It's vastly different, and it is rooted in a kind of a different worldview, I think,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of benefit to that. And then there's also a lot of, I think there's a lot of I don't know, there's a quaintness to it that I think is really nice. But I think if you have a broader ambition, um, what is Jeff doing now?
He's a longevity doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In
So
in LA.
in LA. Yeah.
So did he study? I mean, Pittsburgh's also a great medical town. Did he
He,
study
he
there?
yeah, he
Oh,
studied there and then he went to Penn State.
Mhm.
Penn State, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Cool.
moved
Philly.
out here and now he's like chief medical officer of a company called Noom, which
Wow.
yeah.
I've heard of
So
Noom. Noom?
Yeah.
yeah. He's doing great. He was like you, he wanted
Sounds like it.
to explore and get out and broaden his horizons and
Well, maybe
And-
you should give me some longevity tips. That's
he
great.
can.
He's got 'em all.
I'll connect you.
He's got
for
them
sure.
all.
Love
He
that.
said,
got 'em
yeah,
all.
but he met Olivia at a different college for spiritual psychology. So
Yeah.
Wow, that's like right up my alley.
I was going to say your show is right up my alley.
Great. I
Like-
love that.
I love it too. I'm like, you have the absolute dream job.
It is a good job, I have to say. I don't lose sight of that. Like, it's a great gig.
yeah.
And it's fascinating. So tell us, first of all, how did you come from a little boy in Pittsburgh to get into acting to land where you are today? Because that's a big leap.
Yeah, I really credit a teacher, actually. My dad passed away when I was 7, and my mom raised 2 boys on her own. I was in elementary school. It was actually I transferred schools after the 3rd grade from St. Simon and Jude, and I went to the public school in my community. And so it was the 4th grade, and my music teacher sent me home one day with a note to my mom, and the note was like, "Hey, I recognize that Zach has this, talent and seems to really enjoy music class more than most kids, and here's an article that was an audition notice." For
Oh,
a
wow.
performing group in Pittsburgh called the Civic Light Opera Mini Stars, which was like a kids singing and dancing troupe. I had never performed in my life, and my mom asked me if it was something I would be interested in, and I said sure. And so she took me to the audition, and I got into this group. Like, I didn't even know what Broadway was, literally. I went and I sang America the Beautiful, and they were like, "That's great. Come back next week and sing a song from a Broadway show." And I was like, "I don't know what that is." So I went back to the teacher. And she taught me Consider Yourself from Oliver, and I sang it, and I got into this
Aw.
group, and that's really what started my whole, like, it was crazy. And then, like, as soon as because it was affiliated with the Civic Light Opera, which I don't know if you know is like a summer stock kind of
Yeah.
like the motto was where Broadway spends the summer, right? Like young kids out of school and like kind of established performers will come into a town, and the Civic Light Opera will mount a production of a musical in like 10 days, and then it'll run for like a couple of weeks, and they do that in the summer. And so I got cast in my first summer in the Mini Stars as a Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz. And
Sick.
I remember being at this like main stage at the Benedum Center, which is like a 2,500 seat theater in Pittsburgh, and like we had to like do our own makeup. We had to take like makeup with the lid of a spray paint can and put it on our cheek and then
Oh my
fill it
gosh.
in to be these munchkins, and spray our hair with this color and like make it all spiky. And like I just remember looking at the mirror at was 11 at the time and just saying like I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. Like
I
I
love
just
it.
knew it
That makeup is
from
what
the
did it for
get-go.
you.
It was the makeup.
Yeah.
Doing my own makeup. And it hasn't stopped since. No, I just knew. And then that was the beginning of I started studying, I started taking classes, and then by the time I was ready to go to college, I decided I wanted to study acting in college. So that ended up being what I did.
So cool.
That is so cool. What's even
Yeah.
cooler is you bring up a teacher,
Yeah.
and I just like the ones that really make a difference. It's just like I still remember, ones that really affected me growing up. And I'm watching my daughter too now. She's 10, And just noticing like when teachers really care
Ugh.
and they really love what they do. They're just so amazing, and how cool to have
I
that
really, and I've
inspiration.
been thinking about her. I don't know. I tried to look her up. Her name, it's not the easy, like it's not the best name to try to look up out of nowhere. Her name was Janice Smith.
I was gonna say, is it Smith?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was literally Smith. So
Literally.
it's difficult. I don't know where she is, if she is, I don't know, but I've
Yeah.
thought about her so often. And when people ask me, I have to say like my entire trajectory was altered by that one teacher, recognizing something in me before I recognized it in myself. And that is why we're having this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
I
me
hope that on some
emotional.
level she knows that or knew that. I don't know.
Well,
She
she's
was
listening
probably,
right now, so anything you want.
We
she
have
might be.
her.
And
No.
now your next
That'd be
video.
amazing.
Roll
That would be
it.
great. I would love it. But I mean, she'd probably be like in her 80s now, I imagine.
Oh,
Anyway, bless her, wherever she is.
it really does take. I remember I was struggling in high school, and this teacher sat me down. He goes, "You're a smart girl. What are you interested in?" And it was English, and I was failing. And
Hmm.
he's like, "What outside of school interests you?" And I said, "Honestly, acting, theater."
Hmm.
And he said, "I'm going to change your whole curriculum.
Hmm.
You're not going to do what the rest of the kids do. We're going to study playwrights." And I was like,
Amazing.
so he had me by myself doing all the greatest playwrights, writing reports.
Wow.
I had my own independent
That is
studies.
so cool.
Mr. Miller, he's the only
Mr.
teacher I
Miller.
remember.
He saw you.
He saw me.
I know. Well, kids should be independent and like
Yeah.
individualized in their studies because everyone's so different,
Right. I
But
agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you went to school for acting, college
Uh-huh.
for acting, and then what was your first job
I mean, my first job was as a
other than
waiter.
the Munchkin?
The Munchkin, yeah, for sure. No, I graduated school. I moved to LA, and I did the very traditional. It
Hmm.
was like 1999. I got a job at a diner in LA in Los
Which
Feliz,
one?
and
Which one?
Fred 62.
Of course.
Yeah.
I worked the graveyard shift. I would work like 11 at night till 7 in the morning, and then I would go to auditions. And
Mm.
I think my first job was a TV show called The Others, actually.
Mhm.
I had like two lines.
Mhm.
I was absolutely had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea like how to hit a mark. I had no idea. And the show starred Gabriel Macht,
Mhm.
who went on to star with one of my dear, dear friends, Patrick Adams, on Suits.
Mhm.
And my scene was with Julianne Nicholson.
Mm.
And Julianne and I have since become really good friends. We've made a movie together, and I always remember how easy she was, how cool she was, how generous she was, how welcoming. And I mean, I was there for one day. I was and I will always remember that, and be grateful for it. She really kind of put me at ease, and so nice to have that full circle moment to with both of those people, to like get to know them later and have context and perspective. And particularly with Julianne, just adore her, just really love her.
Yeah. I mean, it really makes a difference, especially if that was your first thing. Like people showing you the ropes and things like that, or making you feel
Yeah.
welcome. And I think that's a big deal with how you conduct yourself on sets. And
Yeah, and now I get to know that myself, right? Like
right.
I get to have that experience and be able to recognize that in other people who are coming onto my show.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge part of what I try to do, is create an environment where people feel welcome. And I think we do a good job of that at Brilliant Minds.
Brilliant Minds, which season 2 is premiering or
Yeah,
premiered because this
Yeah.
premiered.
This was
right
premiered. Um,
Right.
this is so silly, but hitting a mark,
Uh,
it's not easy when you're first doing it and you're
It's
on
not
a
easy.
set and you're nervous and there's a bunch of people watching you and they're like, go. And then you have to stand there, do the, like, if you go to acting school, they don't really teach you how to hit a mark.
No, you got to come up with your
technicalities.
own. I love when I'm watching something and you see somebody look down at their mark. I think it's
Yeah.
always just so like I'm always fat because I try not to look down like that. My technique is like to know where it is, to orient where the mark is in the room, and then use that other thing to kind of figure out where I need to land. But there are so many examples where I'll be watching something a bit, oh, they
Yeah.
were looking, and I rewind it to
Oh,
like see
always.
how they play it off, or like how they're in the middle of saying something and they just find a way to look down. I think it's so funny.
To
It's
call it
hard.
out. My trick is I always ask for the hot pink tape.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's just like in your peripheral.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
It's like
automatically
there. It's
smart.
true.
Oh yeah. I'm always like, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm hot pink.
But I think they should do that in acting classes, is just mark the place up and just throw
Well,
them
I
in.
think they do it in film
Yeah.
acting classes, right? I mean, I imagine they do. I've never taken one, but I imagine they do.
Yeah.
If I taught one, I would definitely have
We
that
have
as
your-
part of it.
Your
Curriculum.
next project for you. Yeah. Is
That's
your
right.
film acting.
Yeah.
So obviously, Star Trek was like this massive thing that like everyone recognizes you for. How did that come about? Because I want to know
Spindrift, by the
everything.
way.
Spindrift?
I
I
noticed
see
that. It's the
Spindrift.
same one.
Do you know
Love. Yours is pineapple?
Yeah.
I haven't tried the pineapple yet.
Oh,
Mine's
yours lemon.
His is lemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spindrift has like it's the better can to drink out of. Just FYI.
Spindrift is the best. You
Yes.
don't even get me started.
I know.
Yeah, Star Trek came about. My first job was The Others, but my first
Right.
meaningful job was Heroes, which I did
Right.
from 2006 till 2011, maybe 10, 10, and that was the beginning of like I just turned 30, and I had been doing Heroes for a season, and then I got Star Trek like right after that. Like I got Heroes and Star Trek within a year of one another.
Wow.
And it was such a crazy time because it's like Heroes to me was, so much of what I had set out to achieve in terms of a job, like a series regular job on a show that was a huge hit. But then people started asking me when I was doing press for Heroes, like, what else do you want to do? Like, what other jobs are out there for you? And I had heard that JJ was making this Star Trek movie, and a friend of mine was like, you should play Spock. And I was like, I should play Spock. So I started talking about it as I was doing press for
Smart.
Heroes. And then April Webster, the casting director, had somehow read an article or read an interview or found out that I had said that or something, and they started casting the movie, and I was the first person they brought in for that role. I was the only
wild.
person who auditioned for it.
What? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I got that job I auditioned for it in April of 2007, and then I got the job in June, and then we filmed the movie in November. It was like crazy time, crazy time.
Wow. That's a wild
Yeah.
ride. But that
It was
just
a wild
shows you,
ride.
like you just put it out there and then
Yeah, I
happened.
mean, yeah, sure. I think that works to varying degrees. That one was kind of like the most, I would never have expected it to work out that way, but I'm obviously grateful it did. It was a profound time in my life, and like a real touchstone for me in my own personal and professional evolution.
for sure. Yeah.
But I do think it takes a lot of courage to be able to. So it's like, if you unpack that and you go, okay, is that manifesting, or is that creating your own reality, or is that taking such brave shots that you get it? Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I think manifesting is kind of for me, I don't know. It's a tricky concept.
Yeah.
Because I actually believe that like we're really just stepping into the experience that we're meant to have, right? So when people say like I'm manifesting something, my belief is that that's something it already exists in the future. It's already there, and what you're actually doing is like removing the obstacles that prevent you from stepping into that part of your
Reality.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think of it more like that. Like that is already who I am. That is already what I'm meant to do. It's already what I'm doing. It's just a matter of me kind of moving toward that more fully and less encumbered. And so I don't know that I was as conscious of that then as I am now.
Yeah.
But I just knew that someone asked me a question and I answered it honestly at the time, and that is what triggered the thing to happen, right? So like
Yeah.
in that sense, I think it was always in process, and I just found my way to seeing it or naming it or asking for it to materialize at that time.
Which is entelechy. Like, do you know what entelechy is?
Mm-mm.
No,
So
I've never heard that word before.
it's basically,
I thought you were saying the wrong word.
no, it's basically the whole map of the tree is in the acorn,
Uh-huh. Right.
right?
Yes,
And
that's
so
right.
it's the exact thing you're describing is the entelechy of like it was always supposed to go there. You
Mhm.
just were taking one step along the way.
Entelechy, how do you spell it?
That's a great question.
Okay.
She's not much.
Kevin,
She's not much
I'm
of
the
a
worst.
speller.
I'm like totally dyslexic, but Kevin will be able to tell us. It's like the knowledge of the acorn to the tree.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Me too.
And I think that's the philosophy or the spiritual foundation that I think I've come to most intrinsically understand in my own life, right? That idea of like we are an extension of nature, and that nature, if you look at nature in every and any and always, it knows how to organize and it knows how to align with
Mm-hmm.
the cycle of creation, maintenance, and destruction in the way that will happen regardless of our efforts to slow it down, stop it, or change it. And so the more we can allow that to unfold, the more that idea that you're presenting in Teleki can take shape in our own individual experiences, just the way it does in the whole collective around us. So I really, that resonates for me a lot.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of spiritual kind of beliefs and things. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I wanted to like hear more about your beliefs and if they've changed, with the trajectory of your life and things like that.
Definitely. I mean, I was raised very Catholic,
Mhm.
and adhered to that way of life, all through my childhood. My mother was very religious. Church and religion and all of that was very important to her. And I think by proxy, then, sort of, I went along with it. I went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic high school. But I never felt my own connection to it. It was always kind of, me being a good boy. And so when I graduated Catholic high school, I never really went to church again unless it was like at Christmas for my mom or like when she forced me to go. Like I never, whereas in high school I would go early to school so that I could go to church in the morning, go to mass in the morning before class. Like I don't know who I was
Wow.
trying to impress, but I guess my mom.
Mom. Yeah.
And so yeah, like I just find that, there are certainly things that I took from my upbringing in the Catholic Church that I value and that I benefited from. But there are also many, many things that I've spent years and a lot of time and energy dismantling.
Mhm.
And so um, I have to recognize that dichotomy.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also done a lot of my own spiritual exploration over the years in many different ways and have traveled and, availed myself of, um, different plant medicines and, journeys into the jungle and retreats and all kinds of different things. And the place that I've ended up at is a place of meditation and a meditation practice that is the foundation of my spiritual outlook now. And I've been meditating for the last 7 years, consistently and studying in the lineage of meditation that I practice for that long as well. So that has been the single most definitive spiritual experience that I've had. And I think the one that um, is really the basis of how I look at the world now, for sure. And it's changed how I look at the world as well.
What type of meditation?
I practice Vedic meditation, which is an offshoot of TM. So I actually got my mantra through TM, Transcendental Meditation. But the Vedic meditation community is basically just an evolution of TM. It's the same technique, but it's a different community. And so I just found that it was more resonant for me. And I felt like when I got my mantra in TM, I wasn't really inspired to meditate. And I certainly wasn't inspired to learn, like to take advanced knowledge courses. Um, and then there was a circumstance in my life, and I felt like I really needed a teacher. And through a series of coincidences, I ended up meeting someone who was a Vedic meditation teacher. And then it really like opened up the whole practice for me, and all of the underlying knowledge that that I've pursued since then suddenly took on a new meaning and a new perspective in my life. So that's what I've been doing. So it's a twice daily meditation practice, and I do it first thing in the morning and then again in the afternoon for 25 minutes each time. And yeah, it's been pretty revolutionary for me personally.
Wow. So you find the time no matter what every day?
Yep. hmm
25. So if you're working or...
I wake up 30 minutes before I need to wake up. So like whatever that means. Like if I have to get up at 6 a.m. for work, I get up at 5:30. And I just the first thing I do, I get up and splash some water on my face, and then I just get back in bed and sit in bed and meditate. And then and if I can do that, it's always easier to find another time later in the day. Whereas if I don't do it first thing in the morning, I get up and I start my day and I get distracted or get invested in other things, then it becomes much trickier to find two times later.
Yeah.
So I've
Right.
learned for myself that if I'm going to adhere to the twice daily practice, which is the preference, I have to do it first thing, no matter what. So yeah, like this morning I had to go to the dentist.
Fun.
And yeah, great time. And I didn't wake up. I was like, ooh, like I'm tired. I have a big day today. I was like, I'm gonna sleep until I have to get in the car to go to the dentist, but I'm gonna take the car to the dentist instead of the train so that I can meditate in the car. Like that's a variation on
Right.
so
Yeah.
I knew that I could make time to do it before my day really got started. So I did that. But the great thing about it is you can really do it anywhere. Like I love to go to sit in the park and meditate in like, Washington Square Park or whatever park because it brings the chaos of the experience around me into my own experience, and I get to transcend that thing and hold this kind of space in the middle of all of that for myself and for anybody else who's in that event horizon. It's sometimes challenging. I was doing it last weekend actually, and someone came up to me. I had sunglasses on, and I was sitting there, and probably about 4 or 5 minutes into the meditation, I just feel somebody come and like take my glasses off my face.
What?
And it was so disorienting and so jarring to like pull me out of this state that I was in, that like my first thought was like, oh, who is this person that I must know that sees me sitting here and doesn't know that I'm meditating, is just like being cute or something. And that was not the case. It was a woman who was, I don't know, it was not that. She was,
Yeah.
and she looked and she was like, what are you doing? Get out of my mind. And I was like,
Oh.
it
Oh.
was really, really, and she like held my glasses, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do?
Oh my God.
It was great. It was really intense. And I was
Oh.
like, can I have my glasses back, please? And she just stared into like my depths.
Your
It was just like,
soul. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
And
my
eventually
God.
she gave my glasses back, and then
Were you in
ran
her
away.
mind though? Were you? Maybe.
Oh my
She
God.
wasn't in mine, but that's not to say I wasn't in hers. I
Yeah, we
know.
don't know.
Whoa. That is a crazy experience.
It is.
Yeah,
And
it was a very New York moment.
you also
Another good
answered one of my questions I had for you, because I like your philosophy. Sometimes with the whole like manifesting thing, I too take trouble with certain aspects of it.
Yeah.
When you're trying to create something that maybe isn't actually in alignment with you. And
Right.
so my question is the way you approach it and the way you were describing where you are today was an unfolding of things that were always meant to be that you stepped
Mm-hmm.
into alignment with.
Mm-hmm.
So my question was, how does someone get to that kind of space that isn't experiencing that at all and taking the wrong steps or feeling lost or discord or all of those things? And I feel like you kind of answered it with your practice.
Right. It is about consistency and practice. I mean, first of all, I am not perfect at it, right? Like there are plenty of things that I think I should have that I don't have or that I want or that I don't, I mean, it's like it's not like I'm always existing in some state of complete integration. However, I have awareness of the disparity when I'm not, right? And so
Right.
for me, the practice is really the thing that every day, twice a day, I come back to this stillness, this silence, and I create space for the remembering, and I create space for my true nature um, to exist in an uncomplicated and undistracted way. And then I bring that into my daily life, And
Mm-hmm.
so I guess I would just say, like, because I've done so many variations on spiritual exploration and psychedelics and, mind expanding kind of ceremonies and rituals and techniques over the years, those have all been insightful, or many of them have been insightful in certain ways. However, I feel like what they aren't is consistent, and what they aren't is
Right.
sustainable and repeatable. And the thing that my teacher has really made me understand is that it is in the consistent expansion of consciousness that consciousness stays expanded. When I go to the jungle and take ayahuasca, which I haven't done in many years, but when I did do that many times, my consciousness expands at such a rapid rate that the psychedelic experiences occurred because I'm not able to kind of keep up with that expansion. And
Right.
the benefits of that are intense and visceral and immediate and may last for some time, but eventually they're going to diminish and, I'm going to go back to my life. But the thing is, every time I sit down to meditate, my consciousness expands a little bit more. And it
Mm-hmm.
never goes back once it expands, right? Like it continually expands and expands. So over time and cumulatively, that experience creates the capacity to both bring that transcendent state into my daily life and bring my daily life into that transcendent state. And so that's the benefit of the practice for me. It allows me to understand that I am a part of everything, that I fit into everything in my own tiny, infinitesimal little way. I
Mm-hmm.
fit into everything. I'm a part of everything. I am everything, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
right? We
Mm-hmm.
are totality, if you
Mm-hmm.
really break it down from
Mm-hmm.
this philosophical, spiritual perspective. And that's been incredibly valuable to me because then I'm so much less attached to things, I'm
Right.
so much less bothered. I'm so much less, I don't hold on to things. I still feel them,
Right.
but
Sure.
I'm not defined by them in the same way. I don't carry them with me the way I might have otherwise or the way I used to.
Right.
And that's been really liberating, really, really liberating.
Well, it's all about the attachment or detachment, right? Like, I think that's the biggest thing and a lesson I've always been taught my whole life. My mom's very spiritual and whatnot,
Uh,
is just not being attached. Like anything.
Yeah.
This is like something very surface, but been like robbed many times. But it's
uh,
like
uh,
no attachment to anything. Like
yeah,
the material thing, whatever it is, just being able to like let things go and not.
yeah.
Uh, but it's
And it's not perfect, My
right.
teacher
No.
uses this analogy, which is that if you take a big rusty chisel and you hammer it into the side of a limestone wall, and you hammer a line into the side of the wall, and you come back 10,000 years later, that deep line is still going to be in that wall. If you take that same chisel and you hammer it into sand, that line might exist for whatever, 10 minutes until the wind comes or the water comes and washes it away. If you take that same chisel and you hammer it into water, right, there's going to be barely any line at all, and it's going to be, completely washed away almost instantly. And you think of the surfaces that we're talking about as your state of consciousness, and you think of the chisel as any kind of exterior forces or internal anxieties or dialogues. And the more that you meditate, the more that your state of consciousness goes from that rigid, hard and impenetrable limestone to water. And like those forces, those exterior forces, those external stimuli become less and less impactful on your life. They may exist for a brief moment or a flash, but the more you build the consistency with a practice, then the less impact they're going to have on your life overall.
That's right.
You're amazing.
I know. I'm like, it's amazing. And my stepdad.
That's my teacher. That's yeah.
No, but your teacher.
But it takes a certain vessel to be able to deliver
open-mindedness and like the way you've taken it in and are able to share it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But your stepdad.
But my stepdad has this conversation with my daughter, so it's her grandpa, and he's always going to how it's like water, and if you just let it. And it ripples for a second, but then it goes away. So they're teaching her this mentality early.
Yep.
Which is amazing.
I think that's such an incredible. I don't have kids, but I think if I do, that, that understanding, integrating that understanding and that awareness as early as possible, not only is it valuable to the child, but it's essential for our future, right? It's like my teacher tells me all the time, like, you have an obligation as a person who is pursuing an elevated consciousness to bring children into the world so that we can continue that, as opposed to, unfortunately, so much of what we're seeing in the world right now, which is a narrow thinking and a narrow worldview and a small, fearful, hateful perspective, which is rooted in fear of the unknown and rooted in fear of the existential threats that we face and that face us imminently. So anyway, that's wonderful. That makes me really, really happy that, that those conversations be had with your daughter.
I wasn't even like really aware until you just told, your story, how your teacher puts it. And I was like, oh my God, wait, he's doing the same thing with my daughter.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, he's an amazing meditation teacher. Stepdad.
Yeah.
And also,
that's cool.
We had a circumstance the other day where my son was explaining to me some thoughts he had. And I was like, wow, most people don't even know that's happening when they're older. And he's 9. And he was saying, I have this voice that lies to me and says this. And I was like, amazing. I'm like, the fact that you witness that that's a lie, that that's a voice. And so I sat down with him for a good hour and we talked about the ego and witnessing it and what it does and all of this. And so then we went to hockey yesterday and he didn't want to play. And he was like, no, I'm going to get hurt and this and that. And I said, is that voice again? And he goes, yeah. It is. It's telling me I can't do it and I'm not good enough. And I said, so what if you witness that and do it anyways? Right. And then we could come back to that voice after. And he did. And he got out there and he played and he came back and he goes, yet again, the voice was wrong.
Wow, that's so cool.
I was so excited,
Yeah, you guys are really, I don't know you well, but those are great stories, both of them. And like to know that you're raising kids that way is really inspiring because we need it. We need souls of expansion in this world now more than ever. So that's
God, I know.
Inspiring. It's moving.
That's
I think they're actually at a rapid speed, to be honest.
Well, it's way different than when we all grew up, right?
Yeah.
Like the awareness alone and obviously the world alone, it's like calling for both at like a rapid.
They're both just as fast as the other.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. It's alarming. It's deeply unsettling and it's really can be overwhelming. I don't know what I would feel or think if I didn't have a meditation practice at this moment in particular, just the pace of the world and technology in particular and the way that it's just denigrated our capacity to allow other people to exist and to have a differing point of view or differing opinions. It's and AI and climate change and all of these things that are happening right now that are I've been saying this for a long time, but I think a big part of all of this, like the election wasn't about it wasn't about politics. The election was a mandate. It was a referendum on consciousness, really, is what it was. And unfortunately, we're living in a time where narrow consciousness of darkness is prevalent and
Yeah,
gaining strength and gaining power, and the confluence of technology and social media and all of these echo chambers that we create for ourselves, I think, have really accelerated that and
big time.
made it more pernicious and more dangerous. And we're living, I think, really right now in the time where we're seeing the consequences of that in almost in real time. And so I think it's so important to be able to navigate that with as much equanimity as we can. And it's not amazing. It doesn't feel amazing to me anyway.
Uh,
Lately, I've been
It's been hard.
I question
struggling.
anyone who thinks it is. It's like amazing things can happen and great stuff is still happening all around us on a daily basis, and we can be as grateful as humanly possible. But if you don't feel any effect of what's happening, that to me points to something disconnected and scary in itself, right? But I do think that what you're saying is so important. And it also goes back, I'm in the program, like a 12-step program, and one of the things that they always say is your serenity is based on a daily reprieve, right? So if you used to use alcohol or drugs or any of these numbing devices, you had to do it every day to feel the relief, right? You can't get drunk off of yesterday's beer, unfortunately. So it's the same thing with meditation or whatever spiritual practice. It's a daily reprieve. And
Definitely.
you reminded me of that today so strongly, where I'm like, that's exactly what I need. I'm like, it's meditation. And I have a daily amnesia where I forget,
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
so glad we
but
had
it can be
this.
different for everyone. Like whether
Totally.
it's taking a walk, whether it's, like,
Totally.
just to keep you present and to keep you centered, really is
Yeah.
what it is. You know what I saw on Instagram? Was it last night? They're like, we're the last generation that's going to know what it was like before social media existed. And that tripped me out. I was like, oh my God, right. Like the kids we're raising, everyone from here on out, this thing exists. And we were like the last ones. And this doesn't have to do really with what we were saying, but it popped in my head just because of like how quick things are changing, what the world is like, all the fear-based shit, and that alone, which is just so scary to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
scared.
scary. It's weird. We do the wolf analogy that your mom taught me. You know the wolf analogy?
Which wolf you feed? That one?
Yeah, whichever wolf you feed. And
Yeah.
so I have to ask myself that. I'm like, am I going to feed
Sure.
the collective terrifying narrative, or am I going to feed the wolf that gives myself space to breathe and connect to what's actually real?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the trouble with that, I think, too, is like, our brains have been rewired, right? Like you talk about neural pathways, you talk about, neuroscience and
Yeah.
neurology, and like technology has rewired our brains. I've really noticed it in myself, right? Like my relationship to my phone, my relationship to the access that my phone provides to whatever it is I need or want or I'm looking for in that given moment, right? Is it validation? Is it food? Is it connection? Is it, stimulation? Is it news? Is it, what is it?
Yeah.
Is it real? Is it, and because of the way that these apps are designed to trigger dopamine release and to recycle that dopamine release, but it's empty dopamine, right?
Yep.
It's not
Earned.
aligned with anything. Yeah, it's not earned, and it's not aligned with anything that is substantive, really. Um, we as a culture have become increasingly agitated, impatient, demanding, unaccepting. And then, you factor into social media and the way that like the algorithm just caters itself to whatever it is that you want to see or hear or watch or learn. And, we've really kind of done ourselves a disservice, and didn't realize it until it was too late. But I mean, I think about it just in terms of like my relationship to food, right? Like I just need to be like boop, 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 boop. And then there's like whatever I want, but like, is it good? Where's it coming from? Like,
Mm.
think about these ghost kitchens. Like you order food from a place that's not even a restaurant. It's like a
Yeah.
industrial kitchen somewhere that has like four different restaurants that don't exist that are just making food that's getting like the subtlety, the nuance, and the specificity of the human experience is being eroded and erased,
Yeah.
And I just am really like, how can I change that and interrupt
Right.
that in my own life? And I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm definitely, it's so much easier. I live in New York City. I can get whatever I want. I don't have time to cook. I'm just home for a few days, or I'm at work, or, it's
Right.
like convenience and instant gratification have become such a destructive reliance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really, really I don't know how you put the toothpaste back in the tube now. It's like
That's what you
how do
always
we
I
say.
always say that.
She
Yeah.
does. Yeah, it's true. I know. I had to cut myself off from DoorDash. Like I had to stop. Like for
yeah.
a while.
I'm
Just
proud of you.
no, I did. I was like, no, I'm going to Trader Joe's. I'm like planning. I'm doing all
That's
the things.
right.
But you
I
have to
think
remind
I
yourself.
think I'm at that place now. I've never
Right.
really thought of it as anything other than like, oh, great, a convenience. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm eating another fucking meal that I don't know who made it or
Yeah.
what's in it, or it's like
Yeah.
I gotta raise the bar for myself,
Right.
and
Right.
bring myself back to the human experience. It's like all we have control over is ourselves, and
Hmm.
Yeah.
maybe to some extent our loved ones, our families, our kids, our partners, whatever. But how can I be living a life that's
More aligned.
Right.
more aligned with my ideals and my perspective and like, myself. Like I've just been finding that question's been coming up more and more and more. And
I
you know,
know, especially this day and age with everything. We're always like, we need a compound. I want to like make my own stuff. The ideal, like the fantasy, right?
mhm.
Whether it's a reality or
People
not.
are making it realities now. I
It's
think
really
there
nice.
is some movements to be like, yeah, let's see what it's like to grow your own vegetables and stuff. To be fair, though, your job is very consuming. So it's not like you could work those hours
Right.
of your
And come
current.
home and like make a full meal. It's true. I
Yeah.
mean, I have to find balance and
Mhm.
grace for myself
Yeah.
in it, but it's just something that I've been noticing as like a
Yeah.
broader,
Just an
thing.
awareness. We keep
Yeah,
just
right.
talking about awareness. I think that's our
Yeah.
theme for this conversation.
Yeah.
But it's true. Even, with our kids, like I notice such a difference if my daughter starts the day watching TV or whatever it is versus not. And it's actually crazy. It's crazy how irritable or like how hard it is for her to transition into the day when she
Mhm.
starts with any electronics.
Oh, yeah. The iPad is crack. It's
Well,
literal
yeah.
crack rock. Like
I
they act
imagine.
like lunatics.
I know.
It's
I was with a friend
crazy.
and he has a daughter. I think she's 6. Adorable, sweet, and we were kind of on a weekend getaway, and all she wanted was the iPad. All
Yep.
she wanted was the iPad. It was like the thing. And she was watching these like videos of like Lego, like someone putting together Lego things, and like
Yeah.
it wasn't even interesting, or like, it was just
Yeah.
like it was just, I could see it in her, like the kind of like, I just need more, I just need more. And like that's how we all are, right?
Right. With
It's just
anything.
that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we are the last sort of generation to know the difference. And that's the
Right.
thing that I feel both grateful for, but I also feel like is a terrible tragedy, because we know what it was like to be like, I'm going to go
I know.
outside and play, release with my friends on a summer night, because that's what we do to pass the time, as opposed to like, give me the thing I want that's going to make me feel instantly seen, instantly gratified, instantly taken care of, instantly soothed, right? Then it just becomes another agent of habituation, addiction, it's like, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's like a lot of big questions that are being asked right
Yeah.
now.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to rewind it over here at my house anyway.
Yeah, we're
Landlines.
trying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean all of it. So
What
we're
was the thing you
trying.
said?
Oh, landline at my land,
Oh,
like
landlines.
like calling
Yeah.
a friend that you can't see or make like filters on or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just like little movements, just little tiny changes.
Yeah, I told
We're
you
gonna see.
my son was like, every night he has to read for 30 minutes. And he started reading a different book every night. And I was like, no. His brain wants that short content.
Sure.
And I
Right.
was like,
Oh,
yeah. So I was like, we're going to start a book and we're going to finish a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
One book. Let's just stay with a book. But I was like, it's so insidious that you can't even see. It's rewiring their brains to be like short, deliverable content,
Yeah.
even in a book.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So scary.
It is scary. But then again, I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Like, we have to work with it. We can't change it, right? All we can do is our best to try and teach them
Meditation.
and expose them. No, literally meditation. We talked about that this week with a group of moms with our 5 boys. We're like, how do we incorporate meditation with them?
Mm-hmm.
How do we do it? You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
that's
we found our teacher.
I wish I could be. I've thought about it, but I'm not yet qualified. But if I continue on my path, maybe one day.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. We're so excited for season 2 of
Thanks.
Brilliant Minds.
I'm glad we talked about
super
everything we
exciting.
talked about. It's nice to we're here for the show, but it's nice that you guys are, asking these questions and inviting your audience into these conversations because I do think they're so important. And it's nice to know that there are people out there having them and sharing them. So thanks for having me.
No,
thank you. You
this
were
was
wonderful. It was a great conversation.
This is
Great.
right up our alley. We love it.
Vice
we could talk
versa.
to you all day.
Vice versa. Tell your husband I say hello, and I'm grateful for that memory. Please give them my best as well.
Absolutely. That was a
Okay.
fun little thing to share.
It was fun. Yeah. Thanks for sharing
thanks
it.
so
Okay,
much
good.
for
Nice
this.
to
Thank you
chat
so
to you.
much.
Yeah.
Be
Have
well.
a great
Have a
one.
great day.
You
Yeah,
too.
you too.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a headgum podcast.